3, 2, 1, go, we're underway! 50 kilometers to downtown Hayward, Wisconsin. We're all ready for you downtown. Have a great journey.
Hey, I'm Corinne Malcolm, and we're here in Hayward, Wisconsin, my hometown, at the American Birkebeiner. I grew up in Hayward. This is a town of 2,000 people. 11,000 skiers would be lining up this weekend. There are probably anywhere between 30 and 45,000 people here for the weekend. The cool thing about the Berkey is that there's so many races kind of for the whole family. We had the Berkie and the Berkie yesterday, so dogs, ski joring, and then the kids race. There's also the junior Berkey, which is kind of like high school and middle school cross-country racing, so 5Ks. Then today we have the Cordelope, which is the half, and the Prince Hakkinen, which is a 15K. And then tomorrow we'll have the full Berkey, the 50 and 55K, traveling from Cable, Wisconsin, all the way down to Main Street tomorrow. So what we would say in the Midwest, it's a silent sport. This weekend there are two main styles of cross-country skiing that take place, classic and skate. We're seeing a lot of skate skiers behind me. It's more akin to hockey skating, and there's classic skiing. It's much similar to running and hiking where your legs are moving parallel to one another. I grew up as a ski racer, and in the last couple of years I've transitioned to racing ultras primarily. And for me, this is a really kind of great opportunity to get back to my roots. It's actually very similar, I think, to running a 50K. You've got to do all the same things. You've got to eat, you've got to drink, and you've got to kind of do your own race. And there will be people lining the course, there'll be people on the lake cheering. They set up homemade bars along the course, which is really fun.
3, 2, 1, go, we're underway! 50 kilometers to downtown Hayward, Wisconsin.
So at the beginning of the race, the atmosphere is incredibly exciting. There's so much energy, in part because you have 10,000 skiers kind of all clamoring about, trying to do last minute things, make sure that their skis are all ready to go. So although I grew up ski racing, now that I live in San Francisco, I don't ski a whole lot. So this is kind of my annual classic ski of the year. I got there this morning just in time to hear Keegan Randall, who's the official starter, who's a gold medalist, and get Inga and the Warriors, who are people who do the race in costume based on the Norwegian kale of the Berkey. 15 to 20 minutes before we start, they lift this giant gate and we run forward to the next gate because you're trying to get in a good start position. Every 5 minutes, you have a wave of several hundred skiers starting their day. So the Berkey's unique in the fact that people think that the Midwest is very flat, but this course is actually really rolling. I was happy to be classic skiing because the skate skiing looked slow today. They got new snow overnight and into this morning, and that made the course, we call it mashed potato snow. Every 5 to 8 kilometers, we hit an aid station. There are 8 aid stations over the course of the day. And it reminds me of the bigger European trail running races because of the volume of runners and the volume of spectators. The noise erupts. You can hear it maybe from a kilometer away. It's energizing when you come to those areas. There's a ton of volunteers. Today they're handing out goo and bananas and water.
I'm the goo-goo man! Goo-goo for you!
Technically, the number of volunteers in this race, which is somewhere between, I've heard 2,000, I've also heard 3,000. That's technically larger than the population of Hayward. It can be a little chaotic, and then you ski out again and it gets quiet. So with 3 kilometers to go in the race, you hit Lake Hayward, where the locals have parties set up. And they'll be there kind of cheering / heckling.
You guys are live leaders!
And then you can hear town. There's a lot of energy building even if you're tired. And so it's kind of fun to come into town and you cross this man-made bridge, the international bridge, that this last little climb and you hit Main Street. There's a skier finishing, probably more than a skier finishing every second. And so the announcers are just constantly reading off names and people are cheering for their friends. It's a really cool atmosphere. I think the highlight of the race for me is getting to come home and getting to run into people that I know after living in a big city.
Congratulations to Rothel Weatherly.
I think what makes the Berkey special is in part just the charm of this massive race happening in this really small community. It's kind of an exciting experience and it's really fun to come home.